So what would you get if you crossed the gameplay of a Metroidvania and the atmosphere and tough-as-nails difficulty of Dark Souls with a stellar-looking pixel art aesthetic? Well, my brave indie warriors, you would have Death's Gambit Afterlife, a complete overhaul and expansion of the 2018 hit developed by White Rabbit and published by Serenity Forge. Boasting a complete mechanical overhaul on world design, enemies, class mechanics, animations, and boss fights, along with 10 additional character levels and completely new content, does this update breathe new life into the game? Well, that's what we're here to find out. Let me start with the fact that Death's Gambit Afterlife boasts some amazing pixel art graphics, perfectly emulating the era that it was going for. From the in-game sprites and backgrounds to the cutscenes and portrait artwork, this game is packing a visual aesthetic that is sure to please any fan of the pixel art style. The more muted and atmospheric sound design helps complement the visual aesthetics as well. While the soundtrack is definitely not something that's going to be on anyone's top 10 game list, it does do a great job selling the mood and doesn't overstay its welcome. Both the graphics and sound set a tone of a more dreary and gothic atmosphere. Circling back to gameplay and story, Death's Gambit Afterlife is an interesting one. At its core, the game is a Metroidvania, where you must kill enemies, gather soul essence to purchase upgrades to your base stats, while simultaneously finding items, unlocking power-ups, and further upgrading your class skills. The amount of systems and items that you'll be cycling through can be a bit overwhelming. However, the key thing to remember here early on is to level up your weapon skill, and for the love of all things holy, pour the bulk of your points into your health. This game is insanely difficult at times, and you will die a lot, as in frustrating levels of death. The controls and the animations were tweaked with the overhaul, and while there's still an issue from time to time with the hitboxes and timing, the overall feel of the controls and animations are definitely on the positive side. There were a few times I felt like I got hit or died because of either nonsensical enemy placement or getting hit by something I could have sworn I dodged. However, the overall controls felt responsive and the combat is a lot of fun. The various upgrade systems really do help augment the combat and survivability, while allowing you as the player to customize your character to your liking. I played a caster, one of the 7 different classes available at the start of the game, which meant purchasing talents that allowed me to keep my stamina up and do more bursts of damage, while also being able to move so I don't die. There are multiple rows of talents for each class, along with different unlockable class abilities and weapon abilities located throughout the world. There will definitely be a playstyle here that'll fit with just about anyone. The story is, again, and I hate to keep saying this, very Dark Souls in nature. You are a soldier who died on the way to combat and have been resurrected by death to do his bidding, in a world where everyone fears death to the point where some try to obtain immortality and avoid death, while others seek to slaughter everyone so death no longer has any power. You are sent out into this vast world to do death's bidding while trying to remain in control of your own will. Overall, this is an interesting game. I'm not a huge fan of Souls games, as overwhelming difficulty for the sake of overwhelming difficulty isn't really my jam. That being said, the game is relatively more forgiving with the healing and resurrection mechanic. You have a limited number of resurrections at any given time, and they can be replenished at any rest point for just the cost of soul essence. You could also use the resurrection items to heal yourself instead, and that alone makes combat much easier. You're still going to die a lot, as enemies hit hard and hit often. This is a game that does its best to cater to hardcore fans. There's a New Game Plus mode, items at the start to reduce your stats, a higher difficulty mode, and the ability to forego your immortality entirely and make your run a one and done. Death's Gambit knows its target audience and goes out of its way to cater to it. The updated version is currently available on the Nintendo Switch as well as Steam, so if you've ever wondered what Dark Souls would be like as a Metroidvania, then this game may be right up your alley. With that, this is Alan with I Dream of Indie signing off, and I'll see ya when I see ya. Alright everybody, this is Alan back again, wanting to give a special thank you and shout out to our indie warriors. Mitchell Hall, Bunny, Kevilo, Bill T. Kaz, Christian Cruz, Chris Jackson, Nathan Moore, Peach, Adriana Amato, CJR, PSC, C-Coil, Skeptism, Jen Rose, Jesse, CPM, Julian Colbus, and JRSD8. Thank you all for supporting our voice against the echo chamber, and if you want to learn how to become an indie warrior, check out the description below the video.